Hey guys, welcome back. Got a Gen 3 off of a 7.3 Powerstroke here. This is the one that uses the cast housing from a 444 Navistar. Then you replace the power steering pump with the Haldex 4F665 pump. When I got it, it was feeding out of here. I was having some issues with it, so I changed it to feeding out of here, which is slightly lower. Didn't really change much. This is the check valve. So it takes, you put low pressure oil from by your oil filter housing into here. Your oil pressure switch gets screwed into here. This is your oil temperature. So on mine here, pressure is feeding into here, creating it into high pressure, and this feeds into the back side of the high pressure oil pump. So this thing appeared to be leaking from around here. I'm gonna see if there's anything I can do with it. So I got the pump up on the vise here and got the gear off. Just noticed that seal is gone. That's good because I did find a kit. This one was on eBay. Happened to actually be about 45 miles away from me, but guy shipped it. Decent price on it. I want to say this is about 60 bucks shipped. Well, you can get a whole nother one of these pumps still today for about 200 bucks. And I got one, but this is going to be for a different project. So the thing is when you buy one of these pumps, you have to go and split the case and spin the guts around. So the fluid flow is the right direction. And if you guys want to put one of these together at home, you got to find this gear and this housing and this check valve. So good luck. But I am going to fix this one and put it back in that truck because, like I said, this is for another project. So, and even with just getting this gear or whatever, the center hole has to be bored out, the keyway has to be enlarged, and it has to get a couple set screws put on it. And then you're good to go. So I'm gonna get this thing pulled apart, and we're gonna replace some bad parts in here. I got the keyway pulled out. Then there's this seal retainer in here. You get a new one in the kit. If it's a aluminum housing, you use this one. If it's a cast steel housing, you use the other one. So just pick that out of there. That's what it looks like. This takes a 16 millimeter socket on this one. Before you guys go and pull this apart, it's probably a good idea to mark it. That way you have no issues. Because if you don't get this in the right orientation, you're going to blow oil out or it's going to blow oil backwards, one or the other. See, these are the seals that are junk. Now I can just go and push that seal right out, just like that. And who knows how long this thing's been like this for. See, it's all blowed out here. And part of the reason for that is these seals could have been blown out for a while. And then that makes excessive case pressure. Blows it back out the shaft seal. And in this application, it's not really all that big of a deal because that oil just goes back down to the crankcase. But in other applications, say that's mounted to a tractor engine or something, that could possibly fill the engine case with hydraulic oil. So that seal's getting replaced, and so is everything else in here. Because what I'm going to do here is I don't really need to take any of this out. So I'm going to clean this up, clean that up, replace these seals, set that guy on top like that, flop the whole thing back down, do the other side. If your pump is not making enough pressure, and this stuff is all wore, it probably doesn't even pay to put a seal kit in. You're better off just getting a new pump for that $130 over what the seal kit cost. I'm going to set that off to the side just the way I took it off, although I did mark this. And we're going to clamp this down and get this all cleaned up. This one is actually all intact. Here's our seal kit. And one place I did find these, but it costs like $80, $90 probably by the time you get it, is Northern Tool. And I can't remember. It's something to do with this number here is what they go by. Because they do still sell these pumps. So we need a set of those, and I think this one. So the round side goes down because this sits in there also. Before you put this together, you got to make sure that it's all sitting down where it's supposed to be. Might not hurt to put a little grease or Vaseline or something on it to make sure it stays put. If that doesn't stay put where it's supposed to, this is just going to leak again. It looks like that should stay put. Another thing you're going to want to not forget is this O-ring. When you're sure this is not going anywhere, it looks good, and you can put this back on. And take that cover off. So I've already had this side apart, and there's some stuff kind of broke up and missing out of this side. Round side down. Then pop this in there. And the O-ring. And we should be able to put this all back together. And these are grade 10.9 metric bolts, but they're going into aluminum, so don't overdo them. I don't really know what the right torque spec is, but Fastnail is saying about 28 foot-pounds. Let's make sure the lips are where they're supposed to be when it's going on. There's a little bit of step down there, and it goes past that one pretty easily. I have a couple old flat screwdrivers that are pretty blunt. They've seen their better days. Just gonna work it down in there with that. Everything's looking good there. And then for this new retainer, just make sure you turn it a little bit so it's not in the same marks as the old one, per the instructions. And then I'm just going to push it down in there. And that's not going anywhere. Put the keyway back in. And then I just gotta put the gear on, set the depth to what it was before I pulled it off. And this thing's ready to go back in the truck. Well guys, I got it all back together. I didn't film any of it. I figured it was gonna be a pain, and it was a pain. It's always a pain. But it's got a little air in the system yet. It'll work its way out, that's why it cranks along there. So far I haven't noticed any leaks. I'm gonna run it a little bit more. Check for leaks, do oil change. This thing's probably due. The Thunderbird's due. I could change oil in about 5 different things. Good thing I got a 55 of 5W40. Thanks for watching, everyone. Join me next time. Take care and God bless. You want to run them?